Of course, you did it again. And right now, you're wrapped in shame, in guilt, and in self-resentment. And then you elect to take a stand. So this is the last time I'm doing this. And then in the next 20 minutes, you're back struggling with an overwhelming urge to go back to the pattern that you've just made a promise to yourself that you're not going into again. And the more you try to resist, the more overwhelming it becomes. And at the end of the day, you fall back to that circle and that pattern. That is how strong addictions are, especially when we talk about sexual addictions, pornography and masturbation. These strongholds are so strong, so overwhelming, that you feel helpless, oftentimes hopeless. No matter the decisions you make, there is always this urge to go back to the same circle that you are coming out from again. The circle of self-indulgence that ends with the reward of guilt. And you keep crying, oh, how do I get out of this? You've tried all methods and the rest of them. But for everything that happens, there is a base and there is a foundation. Your understanding of a base and the foundation of a place or a thing will help you to navigate through the difficulties of that same thing. When we talk about sexual addictions, masturbation and pornography, because both goes hand in hand, you have to trace it back to the design of the brain cells. The human brain cell has been designed to achieve two climax, two masteries. The first one is procreation, and the second one is creation. So it's either you're creative or you're procreative. It's either you are productive or you exert your energy in reproduction. That is how it is. There are no two ways about it. So the more you work, the less honey you get. The more you are able to control your urges. But the less busy you are, the less work you do, the more you are bound to be submerged in that pattern. Now when we talk about work, there are a lot of intricacies, a lot of definitions that we can give to work. Anything that taxes the brain, in so much that the brain is so stretched that all it thinks about is how to provide a solution to that particular thing, is the kind of work I'm talking about here. A lot of people can be busy, pretending to work, and then the brain is not at work. But each time you put your brain to trying to solve a particular issue, you realize that everything within your mindset, your mentality is focused on that problem solving. And when your mind and your brain is focused on problem solving, you realize that there will be no need or there will be no room for that desire, for that urge to come up. So first of all, in dealing with the patterns of pornography and addiction, first of all, you have to look deep inside your soul to find out how creative your brain is. Because nature as it is does not allow vacuum to exist. The brain cells will never allow vacuum to exist. So if the brain cells are not exercised so much to be creative, to produce things out of creation, they will fall back to the other side of the pendulum, which is easier for them, which is, gratifying for them, and which does not require a lot of stress for them, All it just needs to do is the body to cooperate with them. At the end of the day, they achieve that, and then they want to go back to it again. That is how function. So for us to be able to navigate our way through addiction, we have to understand the base of our brain cells and how our brain cells functions. With that knowledge, we'll be able to apply a lot of solutions to that issue of sexual addiction that is so overwhelming. So when you are inclined to work, there is every tendency that there's going to be a decline to sexual perversion, to sexual addiction. And then every other thing or methods that you have gathered together can now be applied to your mind, to the brain cells, so that their patterns are reconfigured, and then the pendulum swings from procreation back to creation, and then you discover that you are able to deal with this particular thing that has become a stronghold over your life.